Hi, we are studying on Ockero Sailing Gymnasium, a school situated in the middle of the Swedish west coast. Our science program includes a lot of marine biology, not only on our own coast. Our coast is rocky with a few beaches and relatively quick in gaining depth. Öckerö is situated near Göteborg, a large city with a lot of marine traffic. A city also means emissions and nearby agriculture. The marine life consists of a large amount of seaweeds, algae, and minor fishes. Due to the Gulf Stream, the water stays relatively warm during the cold winter. The purpose of this study is to find out the difference in growth of biomass on the virtue disc placed in the water of a protected harbor compared to discs placed in an exposed site for waves and currents. This with the question at issue: will the biomass be greater in a protected harbor or in an exposed site? The hypothesis is that the growth will be greater on the virtue disc placed in the protected harbor because the organisms can settle much easier if they aren't exposed to abiotic factors such as streams or waves, as they are in an open area. The study began with putting together the racks by lacing ropes through the virtue disc and secure them with cable ties. In the harbor of Fota Island, one rack was lowered down into the water and held up by a buoy. The other rack was lowered into the sea just outside our school and attached to the bottom of a diving tower. Due to the buoys, the racks stayed at mostly the same depth. They were put into water in early April and stayed there until late May. After 2 months submerged, they were collected and the conditions and traits for their respective site were documented. As expected, the highest total biomass was measured on a disc from Fota Harbor. This might be explained by lower exposure to waves and currents, resulting in better conditions for the species found to settle. The large wave breakers that encloses the harbor provides habitat for much marine life, but mostly on the inside. This is another evidence pointing towards this as the major differing factor contra the exposed test point at Öckerö. On the contrary, there might be many other factors playing important parts in the growth on the virtue discs. For example, different hours of sun and pollution, but also nutrition from boat traffic in the harbor. But this study can't determine why the biomass was greater in the quiet harbor than in an open area, since it only contained one replica. For a study like that, you need to examine more sites with more specific parameters.